'Cause of your care I have lived and I have dared to be the kind of man that you'd be proud of. Oh, it's true, I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for you. And I know at times that I have let you down. Wouldn't see the wrong I'd done, couldn't listen anyhow. Well, your love for me is tried and it's true. I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for you.
Welcome back to the all-new Dallas Music Network. I'm your host, Emmeline, and I'm so excited to have you with us today because we're debuting the brand new series here at Dallas Music Network called Pappy's Place. In fact, we brought you all the way into the woods of Dallas, Texas to check out Pappy's Place itself. Come on in to see music being made. From the very first step you take into Pappy's studio, you're surrounded by this magical sense of home. He's got gold records and autographed photos of recording stars like Bonnie Raitt tucked in between homemade quilts and twinkle lights. He's got all these knickknacks, and every knickknack has a memory attached. In fact, I got the chance to speak to Pappy himself about some of those memories in the Dallas Music Network studio in 2021. Mr. Paul Pappy Middleton, how are you doing, friend?
Well, I smell like I just did my laundry, but that's okay.
That's a good feeling, though. I was gonna say, you know that you're safe, which is important in this day and age.
Well, I'm an old geezer, and these things really help. Who needs a facelift now?
I was gonna say, yeah. But, now everything has to speak through art, right? Because you can't see anybody's facial expression.
Well, right now I'm still feeling really blessed, like Mav, to be alive. Because my next birthday I'll be 75 years old, and I've been in this industry for 54 years now, and. It took breaking an ankle while I was on a tryout scholarship in college.
Wow.
And I broke my ankle right before the season started, so I didn't get my scholarship. And I hobbled down to a coffee shop in Austin that night and played 3 songs and made $3.25. And I ate for a week on 19-cent hamburgers.
Wow.
And I'm still in the music industry. I said, I can do this.
Well, my song, Talking to the Walls, that I got to play with all the amazing artists, I actually started writing that in the middle of 2020, which was when, COVID was like taking over the world. I feel like it's still kind of that point, but it was really extreme that year. And I was actually living in LA before, and then, COVID happened in like end of February of that year, so I packed my stuff up and I moved back to Texas. And at first I was like, what's going on? I loved LA. I was thriving out there, and now I have to come back home. But it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because over that whole time I was in my house, I was able to get back into music, because it was kind of on hold for a little bit with acting and dance and stuff out there. But my song, Talking to the Walls, was, I was in my room with my guitar, and it was hard to communicate with people because I feel like everything was kind of shut down. It was weird and kind of like against the rules to even come in contact with anyone. So that was kind of the meaning behind that song. At that moment in time, I just felt like the only thing that I could talk to and the only thing that I could really understand and the only thing that was listening was the walls. So that's like the metaphor for the whole kind of purpose of that song. Yeah. You wanna give me a beat?
Tim Ramsey, he comes from a family full of wonderful musicians. His older brother, Matt Ramsey, and I were in a band called Cleon Edwards and Hungry Jacks. And we put together an album, and that's how I met the Ramseys, through that situation. But Tim is Matt's little brother, and Tim only been playing for what, maybe 3-4 years now? So, and to be that amazing is because it's just like that he lives it every day. He sees Matt practicing all these years since 12. Matt's been an amazing bass player since 12 years old. He's been featured on a lot of shows and podcasts all over since he was 12 years old. And his little brother just like picked it up. And then within 4 years, he's almost just as good as him. And it's crazy, like he's a phenom. And what makes him like unique, he plays a right-handed bass upside down. So, you know, normally people play a bass like that. He uses the same bass and plays it upside down. Now, that's how he learned. So he played up for a while, and then he got a couple of left-hand basses, which we've seen on the show. But yeah, I picked him because I wanted to, you know, have somebody new. It's great for somebody like Tim to be able to work with somebody like Bobby and people that have all this experience, and he's only been playing for 4 years, so it's like exposing him to something that he might not have gotten to do. But you know, that's what we do here at Dallas Music Network. We make certain connections and relationships that don't normally happen. So that's why I picked Tim to play bass for us.
Yeah.
When I started building Palmyra Studios, that's my studio, I had just turned 50. So it's been there almost 25 years now.
That's incredible.
And my daughter drove up from Austin and said, "Pop, what are you doing now?" And I said, "Honey, I'm just finishing my dream." And we were moving my console in. And again, very blessed that while working with Bonnie Raitt, when I put the word out that I was looking for an old Neve console, which are built in London, by old Rupert Neve, who lives down outside Austin right now.
Really?
Yeah, he moved here many years ago. And I've got a 1969 Neve console that came out of Abbey Road Studios in London. And it was only because I was out front with working with these kind of people that when I put the word out, these guys wanted to get it to me. Hey, that's Bonnie's engineer. And so I've been able to buy the kind of gear that I love to use. My studio has all the digital stuff in it. I don't use it much. All of my projects are on tape.
Pappy Middleton. Man, that name alone is like a legendary, you know, because all artists from different genres have recorded at this studio. And Palmyra Studios is a big staple in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and it's actually 45 minutes outside of it. Erykah Badu recorded Orange Moon there. He's worked with many artists in the country arena. He's just a great guy. He built the studio with his own two hands. It was the smartest idea and investment ever. He got some land, got a house, built, and out of that house, he built the whole house out as a studio. Like, gutted it out and just made the whole thing a studio. And on this rural, beautiful land that's really secluded, like you get lost going if you go by yourself. And it's your first time. You need to go with somebody that knows where they're going. But it's magical.
It's okay if you shut the shop.
Wait, she needs a diet. I need a diet cow. I'm a powder puff. Talking to the walls in your arms.
So that's got to feel good as a songwriter to be able to connect with people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think all we really want as musicians is to make something important that lasts. Yeah. And to tell the truth of the human experience in a way that resonates with people. Yeah. Because I think when we're kids, right, there's this myth that all of these adults are wandering around with their lives all figured out. And so we're like, when I get to be 18, I'm going to have it all figured out, right? I'll be an adult and then I'll be smart
And then I won't have to worry about anything. And then you get to be 18 and you realize that nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah, well, I think you have figured it out. A lot of things.
So I wrote Superheroes, what feels like a while ago now. I was in sort of a transition period in my life. And I came to music in sort of a weird fashion, right? Like a lot of people are born into a musical family, or they're born into, you know, a family where people are super supportive of the arts. I was born into a family of accountants. I was actually a mathlete in high school, which, for those of you who don't know what a mathlete is, it's your one-way ticket to popularity in high school. It means you do competitive math. And I think my parents were a little shocked and dismayed when they realized they had raised a musician instead of an accountant. But they were like, where did we go wrong? She was gonna be so successful and now she's gonna live in a box. But I think I was really determined. I loved music. I mean, as you know, people who are watching this episode can see is true for everybody who works on this show. Like all these incredible players, all the people behind the scenes. You know, it sings through my bones, it's in my veins, it's like fire in my body. I love music. And so I would take my little keyboard and I go to open mics and I go to gigs and I met people slowly but surely with whom I was able to connect through music. And I will never forget the first time somebody came up to me and told me my song meant something to them. And that's sort of how Superheroes was born, was thinking about that community and about the little ways in which we don't really realize we're changing each other's lives, but we are. And you know, that's sort of where the bridge comes from. When the crowds have gone away and no one's shouting out your name, you'll see the lines in every face you've helped to change. And I think we're all creating ripple effects, whether we realize it or not. And so I hope people who listen to the song feel empowered to, you know, go forth and be their truest selves in the world, because you never know who you're affecting by doing that.
Lovely.
Thank you.
I just wanna. Right on, girlfriend.
That's where, thanks, that's where it came from. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Aww.
Oh, I've been a weed among the roses, one speck of dust among the stars. We've got ourselves a hotel room down at rock bottom, but I think we dilate in the dark. See, weeds are known for their resilience, and rocks are built to scale down here. So we'll just climb until we're shining like diamonds, too high to fall too bright.
I think everybody here knows and feels what I've felt all my life, is that being in the arts in almost any form, everybody has a certain art form that really touches them. And if they really love it and it pulls the creative side out of their heart, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can make a living at it. You can find a way.
Such a rock star.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I love Pappy's place. I love like recording there. I've recorded there with a bunch of different artists. You know, it's so rural, it's so serene, it's like peaceful, and you kind of like can create easy. Like, I think that made a lot of y'all comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to be able to be like, okay, I don't know what my song is gonna sound like, but I kind of don't care because there's a cat over there. It's cool. Oh my God, there's so much grass out here.
He's got wind chimes on the back porch.
Wind chimes
We out in the
and
field.
just open doors and good country air.
You say that though, it's like, it's idyllic.
Right.
You know, it's idyllic and beautiful and peaceful, and there are couches and rugs, and it's very chill and inspiring, and then it's also incredibly intimidating, because you walk in and you're like, wow, this is such cozy furniture, what a great place. Oh my God, that's Bonnie Raitt on the wall. Oh my God, that's a signed picture of Bonnie Raitt on the wall. You produced Bonnie Raitt. And you know, and then you realize that you see all these other people you notice. And you're like,
Badu.
oh, I am in, which is no big deal for Lala, but for the rest of us, we're like, Erica Badu.
See that happening there.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember Pappy was saying that I was talking to him a little bit, and he said like the whole inspiration of the place was based off his grandparents' house, because he loved going to his grandparents' house, and I got the same vibe going there, and I think that's why I was kind of so comfortable. Like my grandparents actually, they used to have a bowl of walnuts that they kept, like with the walnut cracker, and I hadn't seen that since I had visited.
And he had it.
He had it. I was like, this is amazing. I love this. It was awesome.
I picked Camden Lee to play guitar for the simple fact that same thing, you know, young guy, hadn't been really on the scene that long, but he's a great player. Like his level of play equaled everybody in the room easily. And this kid just got out of Booker T not too long ago. He's 2 years out of Booker T. So he's a 20-year-old guy. He was the youngest person in the room, but he was by far not, he didn't get left behind on the music at all. That's why I was like, hey, you take all the solos. You and Bobby can take all the solos. I don't really want a solo. Ended up taking one anyway. But, you know, Camden Lee, and he plays with, he's currently working with Medicine Man Revival on a new album. So, you know, he's getting his ground, you know, he's making ground really well right now to be so young. And then that connection with this Dallas Music Network jam session at Pappy's, now he's about to play with Bobby Sparks on Bobby's new record. So again, another relationship made, Dallas Music Network.
Check.
So, you know, interestingly enough, there is an actual for real backstory to the love story. The title in and of itself is actually ironic, because the song actually is more of a testimony to how brokenhearted I was in the moment. And it was a situation of like, it was a ripping the Band-Aid off kind of situation. I was actually in a band rehearsal years ago. This is how old the song is. that I wrote it. I was in a band rehearsal, and a relationship that I had been in that, while I was in it, was literally the best experience I'd ever had regarding, being involved with another person romantically and, considering doing life together. And when he and I had first started seeing each other, I was up front. I was like, listen, I'm a music major. I don't know where my career is going to take me. I would like to see touring in my future, so I don't know how you feel about that. And so his initial answer was, well, let's try, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that conversation actually was the reason why he wanted to break up. So here we are, fast forward years later, I moved from East Texas to Dallas. I'm in this band rehearsal, and I get a phone call. And who was it but him? Mm. And my first thought was, oh, yeah, okay, so you find it appropriate to call and check up on me now, years later. No, I'm good now. I've licked my wounds, you know what I'm saying? The heartbreak is over. We're not doing this again, So I sat there and stewed for a second, and I was like, it's gonna be a song, period. And so here we are. I literally, those lyrics were what I was feeling in that moment, and I've never been more honest in writing a song. I've never been more clear about what I wanted to say in it. Yeah, that was a sincere moment that actually went to got set to music. So yeah, true story.
True love story.
True love story.
So it's actually pretty simple. It's 3 chords, basically. It's 4? My bad. Okay, it's 4 chords. So it's 1 5 1 5 1 5 4. Mav, you know it. I sent you you know it. True story. Like to hear it? Here it goes. I've been in love once before. Greatest feeling I had ever known. Thought it would last. Never knew such bliss. Simply could not resist it, though I know I've been hurt in the past. We both knew we wanted to get serious. Our love affair transpired fast and furious. But of this thing I am still curious. Where did we go wrong? This is my story, my true love story. This is my story, my true love story. To be available for other women to see, but still you find it appropriate every now and then when you are lonely, call and check up on me. I need to be busy, need to have my mind occupied, done with wasting my time on us. But of this thing I am still curious. Where did we go wrong? This is my story.
good song. Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much.
That's just all 3 and 4 though.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're gonna do it in the stereo bus. That's how we're gonna do it.
Ah, yes, and Cleon Edwards on drums. I've been knowing Cleon Edwards since he was 14 years old. Like, this is one of my best friends. He is the blueprint for my son's drumming. Like, my son, it was, when I would go pick my son up when he was 4 years old, hey, Daddy, how you doing, Daddy? Where's Cleon? That would be the very next question. And I'd be like, hey, give me a hug. You just said hi, and then immediately went to Cleon. But that's how much he loves him, and that's how close we are. Cleon Edwards has played for Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Snarky Puppy. He's played with all these big acts. And I remember him doing the Snarky Puppy gig. He had 2 days to learn all the music. I went out there and it's video proof of it on YouTube. You can go look it up. But I picked bro just because he's played with Bobby a lot. That gel of when, me and him, we always think alike on a lot of things musically. So I knew I wouldn't have to really, anybody in the room that day, nobody really needed a lot of instruction. They just get it. So, and with Cleon is he's one of the greatest drummers in the world. Bobby Sparks. Bobby Sparks is a living legend here in Dallas, Texas. He's played for Tower of Power, Layla Hathaway, Marcus Miller, you name it. He's played for some of the top acts across the world. And he's right here in our city. And for him to be accessible, I call him Uncle Bobby a lot of times, because a lot of the keyboard players, and myself included, are mimicking a lot of the things that he does. Because, we'll go see him perform, and, sometimes when you see somebody that you look up to, you kind of pattern yourself after them. Our heroes are getting older. I'm getting older. I'm 41, so, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's aging. Everybody's getting older. Our health isn't what it always should be, because we've continuously been up at night, late playing for everybody, traveling, getting on planes, jet lagged, just all around the world. So, when you can actually have somebody of that stature be a part of something you're doing, and, we got to give people their flowers while they're here,
Dealing with that sense of what can I do?
That's
in the
why I
world.
put on.
Yeah, no, I knew what was going on in your brain. I was math programmed.
Because I already know you're going to think that, and you're going to.
Oh man, guys, this was so much fun. Lala J, Sydney Cope, thank you so much. Everybody, thanks so much for joining us for the brand new jam sessions at Pappy's Place from Dallas Music Network. We're so glad that you're here. We hope that you stick around for more music. Stay tuned, watch our channels, because more is coming to you. We want to thank our incredible band, Bobby Sparks on organ and clap. We want to thank Matt Tracks on Rhodes, Camden Lee on guitar, Tim Ramsey on bass, Cleon Edwards on drums. What an incredible crew today. And we want to thank, as always, our camera crew, and we especially want to thank you at home for watching. Thanks for helping us keep music alive. Make sure you check out all of these amazing artists, and we can't just wait to see you next time here at Pappy's Place. Bye.
fun.
Encore.
That was fun.
All right. Oh, my.
For the love that you gave and the care that you've lent, I want you to know it was time well spent. It's made me so much better, and I know that it's true. I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for you. If not for you, I'd have never danced in the rain, found love I tried to tame, the whispering winds of the Edgewood. Because of your care I have lived, and I have dared to be the kind of man that you'd be proud of. Oh, it's true. I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for you. And I know at times that I have let you down, wouldn't see the wrong I'd done, couldn't listen anyhow. Well, your love for me is tried and it's true. I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for you. If not for you, I'd have never danced in the rain, found love I tried to tame, the whispering winds of the Edgewood. Because of your care I have lived, and I have dared to be the kind of man that you'd be proud of. Oh, it's true. I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for you. For the love that you gave and the care that you've lent, I want you to know it was time well spent.